Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and today we're going to talk about the exciting reboot slash prequel to X-Men, X-Men First Class, today on Hack the Movies.
Hey Tony, why are you sitting quietly indoors with sunglasses on?
These aren't sunglasses, these are the VITURE Pro XR glasses, and I'm finishing up watching the last movie for our episode right now.
You're watching a movie as we speak.
You betcha, Tom. Sorry, I was watching the movie. With one simple cable, you can connect your VITURE Pro XR glasses to your phone or iPad, so you could watch videos or movies on a private 135-inch full HD screen with peak brightness of 4,000 nits. You can use your mobile apps or watch videos while you multitask, thanks to the screen's transparency. Or you could do the opposite and use the electrochromic film to completely block out the light so you can laser focus on what you're watching.
Sounds like a strain on the eyes.
It's actually SGS A+ low eye fatigue certified. It even has myopia adjustments, which is good news for anyone nearsighted.
Where are the headphones?
They're built into the glasses. VITURE partnered with Harman to give you stunning stereo audio.
Sounds like it's cool for apps and movies. But what about games?
Oh, buddy, let me tell ya. VITURE has a pro mobile dock for your Nintendo Switch. You can slap this rechargeable bad boy onto your Switch and plug your XR glasses in, and boom, you're playing Mario, Zelda, or Skull Island Rise of Kong on the go. You can even get a VITURE 8-bit DOE limited edition controller. If you share your experience with VITURE on your socials and tag @GetVITURE or share an Amazon review, you could win this controller for free.
So you can walk around looking at digital projections of your favorite videos or games? It's almost like you have a mobile Cerebro from the X-Men movies.
Go to the link in the description and use promo code HACKTHEMOVIES to get 10% off your entire order, except for the new Pro XR glasses, which are truly amazing. Hi, Johanna.
Sorry, I don't know where I am. I haven't been here in
Well, Johanna, look.
months.
Look. This is the first time you've been in studio for an episode all year. I mean, you famously were in that much beloved February wrap up where absolutely nothing went wrong and you were totally sober, and I'm definitely
I was sober.
Rewatch that video.
I was a little not, but
Yeah,
but
it was obvious. By the way, I had to have a talk with a bunch of people. Like, even the last one, I'm like, hey, it's a little obvious. Can you guys just not? But yes, before that, it was Nightmare Before Christmas. Definitely not Homeward Bound. That was the Cats episode, not yours.
wait, you had a cat episode? Space Cat was in an episode?
Oh, did you not watch it?
No, I wonder what she sounds like.
Don't worry. It's okay if you missed it. Many people didn't watch it.
I thought that was a great idea. Screw you guys.
That was something I did as a joke, and I'm like, I'll never release this. And I went, oh God. Anyway, but in the meantime, we brought back our Godzilla podcast, Castzilla versus the Pod Monster. And
Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt in honor of it.
And you've been on that channel. And actually, the last time you were in studio is when we shot those segments for Gil's video, where he plugged our channel, which was deleted several days after the video came out.
It's Gil's fault.
I think it's Gil's fault.
It's Gil's fault. Thanks, Gil.
We can't talk about that all day long. We got to talk about X-Men. We're going all in on X-Men this year because Wolverine is back, baby.
How shocking. Wow.
Can you believe it?
They offered him money and he said yes. Whoa.
Yeah, and we're doing X-Men First Class. Now, you're probably wondering, Tony, you did the previous three. Why aren't you doing X-Men Origins Wolverine? I mean, we'll mention it a little bit, especially how this movie we're about to review ignores it a lot. I will be doing what is the best Wolverine at some point, and I have a special guest in mind who's very, very big into the comics scene.
It's Hugh Jackman.
No, it's not Hugh Jackman. He's a huge man, but he's not Hugh Jackman.
Is it Dr. Cox from Scrubs, since he always made the Hugh Jackman joke?
No. I have a very, very special friend who's well-versed in comics. You might know his girlfriend. She's also very big into comics. They support indie comic creators. Sometimes they show up at those creators' warehouses uninvited.
No, that's their house. They're doxing him.
Okay, we're just gonna move past that. So there is a Best Wolverine episode in development. We will circle back. We're just gonna do all three. And I'm actually glad we're skipping this one right now because I hate this movie. Anyway, X-Men First Class. All right. This started off as X-Men Origins Magneto. And because remember, that was like after Last Stand. It's like, what are they going to do next? And they announced they're going to make these prequels. And obviously Wolverine was first because he was the most popular.
Yeah.
But people loved Magneto. And they're like, hey, we really like the sympathetic character. Ian McKellen's getting old. But they brought him back anyway later on. But they were like, yeah, so what can we do? Like, oh, why don't we do Magneto's origin? And then apparently around the time of X-Men 2, the one producer was bouncing around the idea of doing like a young X-Men prequel also. Magneto fell through. People say it was because the writer's strike, the 2007, 2008-ish writer's strike might have gotten in the way. But, they were supposed to shoot in 2009. And I'm guessing they saw how X-Men Origins Wolverine went, and they went, you know what? Let's not do this. Let's do something else. So someone pitched the idea of doing the X-Men First Class because a comic book had just come out. Don't worry. This has nothing to do with the comic book other than Professor X, and it's his first team. It's not even the team from the comic. I mean, I think we all know the original X-Men team. I have them here. Was what was it? Cyclops, Marvel Girl, which was Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman. I thought there was someone else. Angel. But yeah. Oh God! I knocked over the DVD. So yeah, they decided to do this X-Men First Class. They worked the Hellfire Club into it, which were supposed to be a big part of the Dark Phoenix story. They didn't make it into that movie.
Yeah.
Now, we all were mad at Bryan Singer. Okay, in 2011, 2010, we were mad at Bryan Singer for not doing X-Men 3. People are mad at him for different reasons these days.
Nothing serious.
So he was supposed to come back and actually direct this. He had to walk away. He developed the story and everything, and he was hands-on as a producer. But he had to leave to do the memorable film, Jack the Giant Killer.
It's my favorite movie.
Oh, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Jack was a giant killer.
That was a good part. Who could forget the memorable performance the character Jack had, played by that guy?
Yeah, best actor.
And remember that villain? The other guy?
Oh, he was terrifying.
Bryan Singer made the right choice.
Clearly.
Hey, he directed a Best Picture nominee.
Uh-huh.
He didn't get Best Director. I don't even think he was invited to the Oscars. But anyway, so they got Matthew Vaughn. Now, this is kind of interesting because he was set to direct X-Men 3, and he, walked off that project. And then he was also supposed to direct Thor, and then that didn't happen. So they're like, well, you're back for X-Men. And they're like, they kind of pitched it to him. They're like, you can just do whatever you want, like continuity, schmontinuity. Pick and choose whatever you liked from the movies to keep and do your own thing. So that was appealing to him. So yeah, this whole film is not super concerned with continuity of the films, which is very clear. But then but then the next film where Bryan Singer comes back, tries to make them in canon again. It's very confusing. But yeah, we saw this together.
Yep.
What were your feelings about this going into it at the time?
I wasn't expecting anything great because we haven't gotten anything great in a while.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, as long as it's fun, I guess. But then I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on X-Men 3?
The music was good. Yeah. The music's good.
What are your thoughts
The
on
Dark Phoenix music was very good.
What do you think about X-Men Origins Wolverine?
What movie?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we were talking at that time. We weren't talking at the time Wolverine came out.
I don't think so.
But I I was very angry in that movie. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I was like, I take back every bad thing I ever said about X-Men 3. That was gold.
I was looking at my Facebook. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, but it was the anniversary of when we were all at the Drake together.
Oh, I mentioned that story recently.
Did you?
Yeah, I mentioned that story recently. I think it was in the
I
live.
saw the post and I was like, ow, yeah.
That was a fun day. Oh, man. I should have swiped right when I saw her again. Really put you in your place.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had an ex who tried to beat up Johanna. I didn't know what to expect going in. I was like, all right, maybe it'll be good. I was really let down with the last two. I'll give it a shot. So, yeah, let's go through this film. This fresh reboot of this series. It's going to start over. He's going to put his own stamp on it. It starts exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the same thing.
Like, exactly. Like they just got new actors to play those characters. I think they even reused some footage there.
I think they did.
Yeah. Whenever you couldn't see the other actor's face, they reused that footage. So yeah, we get to see the Magneto scene again of him like bending the.
I don't mind it. It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
How are they gonna reboot Magneto going forward? They have to come up with like a new thing for him. Because I saw some people being like, he should be a Holocaust survivor. I'm like, that's gonna be a really elderly Magneto. He's gonna be real easy to take care of.
I don't know.
Leave your opinions on how they should reboot Magneto. And then we also meet a young Charles Xavier, and he's in the kitchen. His mom's in the kitchen, wearing the same dress she's wearing in a photo, which is in the kitchen for some reason. And this turns out to be little kid Mystique, Raven. And he's like, you're not my mom. Ah. And then he sees that it's a blue girl. He's like, yay, I'm not alone. I'm a mutant. And then he's like, we're both the exact same. And she's like, well, not really. Not really. I mean, you can control people's mind. I look like a blue alien lady who has to disguise.
Yeah, you can hide yourself a little easier.
Yeah, I mean, she could hide herself, but like...
She shouldn't have to.
Exactly. That's what she said in X2, X-Men United. But yeah, he's like, hey, don't worry about it. You can you don't have to go hungry ever again. You can live here.
Yeah, you don't have to live here and eat all the food. Blah.
And I was just like, what?
Yeah, how did that work out? Like,
yeah,
hey mom, hey dad, I know you don't really like raise me in general, but like, here's our new daughter. Did he like mess with their heads?
I'm
something?
guessing
Like,
he did, because how else? It's just like, oh, maybe she hid the blue stuff from them.
oh yeah, that'd be easy to like do, but like, did he put it in their mind that that's the daughter? And like,
No, I'm pretty sure he like persuaded them to adopt her, and I don't know. Remember, it wasn't even like his dad. He mentioned there was a stepdad in that mansion.
It's still a dad.
Yeah, yeah. But I remember like we were all kind of confused. We were like, wait, what?
Whatever, it's
We
fine.
were like, but when going into this film, before I realized it was going to break continuity, I'm just like, wait, that was his sister? And I'm like, wow.
Different type of sister.
Steps. Like, wow, but Mystique can change her shape and stuff to get out of situations, but she's always getting stuck in the dryer. I don't understand.
I thought that was weird. She was like in her underwear, like, help me, stepbrother. And I'm like, what's going on? She could just stand up.
Anyway, but yeah, I remember because I'm thinking back to the first movie. I'm like, oh, so Mystique like sabotaged Cerebro to scramble his brain.
Yeah.
She looked pretty thrilled about it. She wasn't just like, it's a shame I have to do this to my adopted brother. Instead, she's like, bye, you old fucker. Like, she clearly didn't know him in the first one. Not
Whatever.
personally. But yeah, now they're BFFs. And then we see Eric get brought into what's his fake name? It's Sebastian Shaw. Kevin Bacon is playing Sebastian Shaw.
What did he say his name was?
I think it's Schmidt.
I think it was Schmidt too.
I think it was Schmidt. So yeah, he's brought in and he's trying to force Eric to use his abilities, and he can't do it.
This part was fucked.
This part was pretty fucked. Schmidt's a bad guy. Shaw's a bad guy. So he's like, oh man, it's not working. How can I motivate this kid to use his power? So they bring his mother in. And he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna
Countdown.
count to 3, yeah. and you're going to move that coin or I'm going to shoot your mother. He doesn't do it. He shoots the mother. And it turns out anger and rage is what fuels Magneto's power. And he...
I like that he just like kind of localized it just to that area at first. And then suddenly just turns to the guards who, I mean, they're also involved in the murder of the mother too, yes. But like they're kind of just standing there.
Well,
and
they...
just blink.
Yeah, he kills everyone but Sebastian.
Who is the one who actually killed the mother.
They kind of wrote themselves into a corner here. Because it's like, okay, technically, if Magneto would have tried to kill him, it wouldn't have worked. Because Sebastian's power would have stopped it. But they didn't want to reveal that he was a mutant. So that scene is kind of awkward. Because it's like, because like the scriptwriter and we know that he's powerful, but like that kid doesn't know. He should try to kill him, and then he just doesn't. Also, the digital effects in this were weak.
Some of it was very wonky.
Yeah, like almost cartoony, some of them. And like, I don't know, like I had that complaint with part 3 in some scenes. But for a lot of this movie, the digital effects are they stand out a lot. They're not very good. They get a little bit better toward the end, the Cuba fight. But
yeah,
everything leading up to that, like even the stuff swirling around, I'm like, this should look...
Yeah, that looked weird.
I'm like, this should look better at this point. What's going on here? I mean, I shouldn't complain about bad CGI in an X-Men movie as I hold a copy of X-Men Origins Wolverine. Remember his claws look like Roger Rabbit?
I don't even want to talk about it.
So then I kind of like this. We flash forward. Professor X is hitting on a lady. Who is that girl? She looks super familiar. Is that the girl from Malignant and Annabelle?
Yes.
It is?
Yes. She's also in The Tudors.
Okay.
Yes.
She looks like that girl. I'll double check.
I'm pretty sure. I will look right now. Yep.
That was her?
Yep.
Okay.
That was correct.
Confirmed. It was her. But yeah, she has like the 2 different eyes, and he's talking, it's like a mutation. It's a very groovy mutation.
And then Raven does it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
But what I like about this is he's doing the quote from the first X-Men movie, like mutation, blah, 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 blah. But he's doing it like drunk to pick up on a girl. I'm like, that's kind of fun.
It has enabled us to evolve from a single-celled organism into the dominant species on the planet.
Mutation took us from single-celled organisms to being the dominant form of reproductive life on this planet.
This is fun. And this movie helped get over my hatred of James McAvoy.
Why do you hate James McAvoy?
Now you fucking remember why I hate James McAvoy.
Oh yeah, Mr. Tumnus. Look, Mr. Tumnus could get it. Just because you couldn't get it.
In high school, I apparently resembled Mr.
Can you put the picture?
That's college. I'll find the picture. In college, I embraced the Mr. Tumnus thing. But no, in high school, everyone kept saying like, "Hey, did you see Chronicles of Narnia?" And I went, "No, lame." Except I didn't say lame because it was 2005. But I was like, "No." They're like, "You look like the Goat Man," and I'm just like, "Fuck you, thanks." What the fuck kind of compliment is that? Apparently, I only looked like James McAvoy when he was a Goat Man. I've looked like him no other time.
It's the way he had his facial hair.
Yeah, my stupid teen, not really growing in well facial hair looked like a fucking Goat Man.
Look, James McAvoy was hot in that movie. I don't care.
So this movie helped get over my hatred of him. It made me develop a hatred for a different actor who I then had to get over my hatred of, but we'll get to his scene soon. So yeah, he's hitting on girls. He likes his mutation. He's studying mutations. But Raven feels a little left out. She's like, I want to be like this, but I'm always hiding, and I want to be out and proud. And they have kind of like a resistance there, where he's like, well, you got to hide because people will kill you. And she's like, yeah, but shouldn't we be trying to change the world or anything? And then she's like, do you find me pretty? And it's like, oh,
It's like,
she's going to get stuck in the dryer again.
oh my God.
Yeah, they have like a weird brother-sister relationship.
It doesn't even like feel brother and sisterly.
Yeah, it's just, well, he's acting like a brother, but she's like constantly asking him like questions, but like, it's like, are you into him? or you just want him to reassure you that other boys will like you?
I think it's just like she doesn't really get attention, and she's probably very sheltered in that way because like he doesn't let her go and do stuff.
Yeah.
So probably that.
Although he's got a point because she starts showing off a little bit. It's like, oh, come on, lady.
But she can't control it. You know that.
Yeah. By the way, this version of Mystique, now that I've like rewatched a lot of the cartoon, actually by the time this comes out, I've probably seen all of it. It's weird to think that she grew up in like, besides being a kid, she grew up in like this really nice family and stuff. Meanwhile, the Mystique from the cartoon is like, I hate everyone and I sleep with rich guys. And if I birth a blue monkey baby, I toss that asshole in the water. I don't want that shit. Like, she's really ruthless. And that's how she felt in the first few movies. Then in this, she's like, I'm just sad because I want to talk to boys. I'm like,
and I want to be myself. And blah, blah.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't really see Jennifer Lawrence. By the way, this is like early Jennifer Lawrence. This might be.
I think this is right after Hunger Games.
No, before.
It is?
This is after Winter's Bone. Did she win the Oscar for Winter's Bone?
She got something for it.
Yeah. But that was like her breakout thing, and then they put her in this. And she does have the actual Rebecca Romijn makeup effects. They tone it down in the next two, or next three, actually. She does look weird with Rebecca Romijn's makeup.
Do you remember people were saying she was fat?
Oh, yeah. I think that was around Days of Future Past or something.
I think it was in this one, too. But they were saying she's fat. And I'm like, where the frick is she fat?
Well, I think there were scenes where she was actually wearing a bodysuit instead of painting. And then they, they digitally smoothed it out. So I think people were taking behind the scenes photos of her in the bodysuit. So
I don't know. Regardless, she far from it. Like, if you think that's fat, you get yourself checked out because you're insane.
Johanna, I don't sympathize with fat people anymore now that I'm sexy buff Tony. I'm working really hard to flex these biceps, and I realize there we go. That really hurt.
The point that you have to flex so hard is disgusting. Oh my god.
Someone left a comment. They're like, I'm not ready for the hot Tony arc.
Oh, people are telling me they're ready for buff mommy Johanna, so.
Nah, pass. Pass. Yeah, this is where I started taking note of her. I eventually saw Winter's Bone afterwards. I'm like, wow, that girl can act. And she's been in some good movies and some bad movies. And some of those good
God, what was that really awful movie with Chris Pratt?
Oh, God.
Passengers.
Passengers.
That was awful.
I heard that comedy she was in last year was pretty good.
When she goes full naked.
Well, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, she goes full naked. Huh. I forget what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
It's where she's like pretending to be a kid's girlfriend, doing best friend. Yeah. Okay. So we see adult Eric, played by Michael Fassbender.
He's hot.
Who at this point was in a bunch of things. He was in 300. He was also, I believe he was in Jonah Hex, the DC Comics adaptation of Jonah Hex.
Megan Fox was in that too.
This is another one where I feel like this kind of like made him even bigger. Like he was a name at that point, but this is like probably the biggest movie he was in. And he did like an awesome job.
Yeah, he did a really good job with this.
I have, as much as I like James McAvoy in this, and I think he becomes like a good Professor X, he never really feels like the Patrick Stewart Professor X. This, I kind of buy him as like the young Ian McKellen. So yeah, he's at a bank. What was it, in France? Or was it a Swiss bank? He's saying like we, so I assume the guy's French. I
don't remember.
He's in some kind of bank that accepts Nazi gold, and he has like the big Nazi gold bar there. So they assume that he's like shady like that. And like, yeah, we'll accept your gold. Sure. And then this scene's pretty awesome. This probably would have been the Magneto movie. Like him hunting down the Nazis.
That'd actually be pretty sick.
That would be, a whole movie of that would have been fun. It's a shame they just kind of like weaved it into this film.
Yeah, because those are definitely some of my favorite scenes. Like especially the one later. Oh my god, with the music.
Yeah, those are the scenes that stick out. Are him like hunting down the people and his like revenge mission. It should have been. I felt like it should have been two movies. Like X-Men the Professor X starting the team. Magneto on his revenge mission. I know you have to tell the story of them being friends and separate it. I don't know how you weave that in.
whatever.
This movie tries to do all three of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like rips the filling out of the guy's mouth. I like, he's like, you're going to tell me where that guy is. And he goes, Argentina. He's in Argentina. He's like, all right, by the way, I'll know if you tell them I'm coming and I will come back here and I will kill you. And he's like, okay, bye. You're right. The music's pretty good in this.
Yeah,
it's like,
was it Frankenstein's monster or whatever is it called?
Yeah, he's like, I'm Frankenstein's monster. Because he wants revenge on Shull. He's like, that guy killed my mom. And I guess my dad, too. I need to kill all of them. I hate all of them.
Well, yeah, complicit with, killing the dad, too, whatever, probably somehow in there.
Yeah.
Because, but he full-on actually murdered the mother in front of him, so.
Okay, then we get introduced to Moira McTaggart, who's not Scottish and not a doctor.
Yeah, but Rose Byrne's hot.
Rose Byrne was.
She's so
very
hot.
Especially in this scene.
Oh, yeah.
Look. I wasn't around in the 60s, okay? So she was just wearing that
You weren't?
No.
I thought you were born in, 42 or something.
Well, then me being in high school with you would have been very awkward. Why would I have been there?
You're trying to do some, never been kissed thing? I don't know.
Okay, no. I'm not going to get away with that like Drew Barrymore did. Oh, yeah, Rose Byrne. Okay, so, again, I wasn't around in the 60s. So she sees they're at the Hellfire Club. It's a gentleman's club. You got these hot babes in lingerie.
Hot babes.
God.
That's what you sounded like.
Sydney Sweeney's going to get us back to that America. She's going to save that America. We're going to be back there.
Yeah, save us with your boobs.
Save us with your boobs.
Her boobs have been around for forever, and suddenly now everybody's making a big issue about it.
Yeah. Barbarella.
I saw.
Can you believe Hollywood's allowing a movie with a hot big boob blonde? And then I heard that there was a Supergirl movie coming out. I'm like, okay, let's see it. And it's another hot blonde. I'm like, how did Hollywood allow this? What happened? Did someone die? What happened? Anyway, so she just had this on underneath. Is this what all ladies were wearing in the 60s? Or did she know to wear that in case she needed to infiltrate?
I would assume she probably knew because she seemed very knowledgeable about the situation that was going on. So yeah. I would assume.
So yeah, she's in the CIA. She's tracking down a colonel who she thinks is involved with the Hellfire Club doing shady stuff. So she just takes off her jacket and everything. She's like, I'm going to use some assets the CIA didn't give me. I'm like, okay. So she gets in there. And speaking of hot girls in lingerie, we get to see January Jones as Emma Frost, who is somehow older in the 60s than she is in the 70s from the film prior. Again, as soon as I saw Emma Frost, I'm like, oh, so we're just ignoring all of X-Men Origins. Okay. Because that's a pretty big one. It's just like, oh, yeah, she's a teenager in the 70s, but an adult in the 60s. But January Jones, I mean, she's terrible in this film. She couldn't be more bored.
I mean, they didn't really give her anything to do.
Yeah, but it looks like she's just sleepwalking through the role.
I mean, she sounds like she's doing it too. She talks monotone the whole time. And
yeah. I kind of like White Queen, so I thought she'd be a little bit more charismatic. But goddamn, does she look good? So they're in the Hellfire Club. And the Colonel disappears.
Ooh.
And he's meeting with Sebastian Shaw. And Sebastian's like, hey, buddy, why don't we put some nukes in Turkey? And he's like, what? It's like right near Russia. That's a bad idea. Why would we do that? And he's like, you should do it. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to drink. And then he's like, guess what? My friend makes tornadoes with his hand. And Riptide, I think he's called.
I think so.
Really digging at the bottom of the well for that one. Okay. I don't know anyone who was a Riptide fan. By the way, I read the Hellfire, the Dark Phoenix. I was looking at the original Hellfire team. The only ones in this movie are Emma Frost and Shaw. Like, Azazel, I get why they put Azazel in the movie. Because he looks like Nightcrawler, and it's a way to have an evil Nightcrawler. But Riptide, I'm like, couldn't I get anyone else? No one else? Okay. So yeah, they beat up the Colonel. She's watching it. She's seeing all this happen. She's like, oh God, mutants exist. And she's like, and that lady can read minds. Except mine.
Yeah. I watched this with Ian, like a few weeks ago, whatever, so I didn't have to like watch it again.
Yeah.
And when we were watching that part, we were just kind of like,
oh,
shouldn't she know?
There are so many moments, and I think I have marked down where the psychics...
we're going to talk about,
The psychics in this movie just forget that they can control minds. They just forget.
Yeah.
But she has the added power of turning into diamonds. I hate the diamond effect in this.
It looks like Twilight. Not really, but...
Well, no. So the skin, when it's the tiny diamonds, that's kind of what it looked like in Origins. That looks fine. But when she goes full diamond form, I'm like...
weird.
It looks like early CGI. It looks like CGI.
Weird.
Recently I reviewed Lawnmower Man. It looks like 90s CGI. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I like when she's like, the Colonel's in on it. And the guy in the war room's like, what? He's right here. And he's like wearing the tuxedo. Like clearly Azazel teleported him there. And I like him being like, nukes in Turkey? Love it. Let's do it. So yeah, now she knows mutants exist. And she's like, well, shit. We gotta look up a guy who knows a lot about this. A professor, perhaps. And what did you know it? Charles Xavier just gets, what is it, doctorate or whatever? He's a professor now.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever it's called. I didn't graduate college.
PhD, I don't know.
We take a break from that because Eric shows up in Argentina.
Yeah, I love this scene.
It's good.
This is my favorite scene in the whole movie, I think.
Fun fact. Argentina is the third most popular country that uses my last name.
I wonder why.
Italy's the first.
Wonder what you're doing down there.
People really like floppy hats, which is what my name means there. In Italy, it means hairy. So, just a lot of floppy hat fans down there. I'm sure. Sure my family was on the level. Anyway, he's in Argentina. And he's like, I'm looking for a hairy guy with a floppy hat. And he finds the two Nazis. This scene is awesome.
It's so good.
I love it. He's like stabbing the guy, and then he lifts up the knife, hits the guy,
goes, tink, tink,
and then brings it back. And just kills him.
And he's finishing his beer. But even the whole reveal when he's just like, I'm talking with you guys, everything's cool. And then,
we're all Germans here.
Yeah, he's just like, you killed my people. Yeah. And they're like, what? And then they're trying to act like they're going to do something, and of course.
Inglourious Bastards. That's what Michael Fassbender was in.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I was talking about Nazis. I'm like, what was the big thing? I'm like, that's the thing I remember him in.
Yeah. He finally got to do the whole Nazi killing movie thing.
Yeah, Hell of 3.
Yeah, he was an idiot.
Rookie mistake. He learned. When he was doing this, he's like, I heard about a guy who looked a lot like me who put the wrong fingers up.
Oh my God, that scene, my heart stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, you fucking idiot.
This year, we're going to do some Tarantino films. I already shot one for Boys Month. I think we can all guess which Tarantino movie is kicking off Boys Month, the one with the all-male cast. Reservoir Dogs. Anyway.
Do a Girls Month for Kill Bill.
No. Let's not even entertain that idea. Throw that idea right out the window.
No.
Fun fact, spoiler, I guess, for an episode that won't come out for a while. Soul Man is currently the most heavily edited episode of Hack the Movies. Reservoir Dogs will be the new most heavily edited episode of Hack the Movies. Stay tuned.
Huh.
I blame Tarantino. Why does he like that word so much? Anyway, we got to get into this. So Moira meets drunk Charles, and I like that he's like flirting with her, and she's like, no. I'm not here for that. I got to talk about mutants. You got to talk to me. And then we see that the colonel, the crooked colonel, is meeting with Shaw on his yacht. And he's like, I want my money or I'm going to blow you up with a grenade. I'm like, this was a terrible plan. What the fuck was this plan?
Yeah, a lot of things it's just like, huh? You kind of have to actually kind of just like shut your brain off and just kind of watch it.
Get like a guy to back you up, maybe like a sniper or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's like,
alone.
I like that he's like, I'll blow them all up. And he's just like, I'll kill all of you. And he should be like, well, maybe not you, Diamond Lady. You might be able to survive.
She didn't care. She was just laying there on the yacht anyway. She's just like, yeah, whatever.
The only one really at risk is Riptide, maybe.
Oh no.
But yeah. So Shaw is like, nah, you're not going to pull the pin. I will. And he demonstrates his power, which is the power from the comic. He can absorb kinetic energy or any kind of energy and like throw it back. So and I like the effect, how his like hands double and he like splits and he absorbs the grenade. He's like, yeah, look what I can do with it. He like just blows up the fucking colonel.
And then it just cuts.
Yeah, it just cuts.
It's like, I would have to see that.
And at no point in the war room does someone go, hey, where's that colonel? The guy who told us to put our nukes in Turkey?
Yeah.
Did he just disappear?
And he never comes back.
Someone should be like, maybe we shouldn't put our nukes in Turkey. This might make us look really bad, and it's only a year after the Bay of Pigs. We can't afford to look bad. We should really figure this out. That is a fun element. This is after the Bay of Pigs, the famous botched invasion where we tried to get Cuban exiles to take over Cuba, and it did not work. It did not work. It was really embarrassing for Kennedy. And according to the X-Files, it's the reason he got assassinated by the cigarette smoking man. That was a good episode. Remember that one? I showed you that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cigarette smoking man, but it's like the whole episode is basically Forrest Gump if cigarette smoking man was Forrest Gump. So he's responsible for all these big assassinations and stuff. Anyway, so Charles meets with the CIA. He's talking about mutants, and he reveals that he can read all their minds. And they think he's a spy. They don't believe him.
Yep.
And guess who's there? Daddy Stryker. William Stryker's dad is there. Okay. Because we got to set up X2, even though we're breaking continuity all over the place. Stryker wasn't a military guy in the comic. He was like a crazy preacher, so they could have changed
Whatever.
it. So they don't believe him. They just think he's a spy, and then Mystique shows off her mutation. So everyone is kind of like freaked out by this. They don't like it, except for one CIA guy, Oliver Platt, who, of course, you remember from Lake Placid. Go back and watch the Lake Placid episode. Could we do what is the worst Lake Placid sequel?
If you want.
How many are there?
2?
What we should do is what is the worst Lake Placid sequel? Then we should do the Anacondas, and we should do Lake Placid versus Anaconda.
Okay.
Again, the crocodile was not called Lake Placid. The title makes no fucking sense. A Nightmare on Elm Street versus Jason. Like, the title makes no sense. Okay. So he's like, hey, I kind of dig what you guys are doing. And then I like Charles does the whole thing where he freezes everyone. I do like that moment where he's like, you want to see...
Like, they try to, like, lock everybody down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they try to lock everyone down, but he's able to get out. But I like he gets Oliver Platt. He's just like, hey, you want to see another trick? He's like, what? He's like, get in the car. He's like, okay. He just gets right in. So yeah, later that day, they're trying to stop Sebastian. The Coast Guard, Charles is teaming up with the Coast Guard and the CIA to stop Sebastian and Charles' ship. Little do they know, Eric is also there. And Eric goes to kill Shaw. He is not prepared for him to be a mutant. He was unaware of that.
Yeah.
Emma Frost, I think, is the one that like kicks him off the boat.
I think so.
Yeah, because he's like, never against our own kind.
Yeah.
But I
yes.
I like that Shaw is excited to see him. He's like, oh, hey, buddy.
Well, I mean...
But also, Shaw, you should know he's probably going to hate you. Like,
but, like, he knows he can't die. So, like...
I guess so. But it's just like, man... But why are you even trying? Like, you should be like, oh, hey, Emma, kill him. Kill him and...
Well, he has a good power. I think he wants to try to manipulate him.
He is trying to recruit people, but it's like, you should know that you're not going to recruit this guy. Like, And he's like a really powerful mutant, so you kind of also don't want to piss him off. So I like that where they throw him off the ship.
He starts to attack with the chain.
But this in between that is Charles trying to stop it, but he didn't expect Emma Frost to be there. She like blocks him.
That was such a weird effect to show that like, no, you can't get in. And it's just like, all right.
So yeah, her diamond form can block him. So yeah, he uses the chain. Actually, it's a cool shot of like the chain ripping up the ship and everything.
Yeah, I really like that. And them actually running and you can see the chain going behind them.
That was
like,
really
cool.
And Emma Frost just forgot that she could control people's minds. I could get him to stop at any moment. She could literally get in his mind and stop Magneto.
It's fine.
Any minute she wanted.
It's fine.
She just forgot.
They just had to have an excuse to show off the submarine. Like.
Listen, you know from experience. Ladies, they always forget things. They forget where their keys are.
I never forget where my keys are.
They forget what's left and right. They forget that they control people's minds. Like we always forget.
Left, right.
No,
that's how you look.
No, you know what? I bitched about that in the Blair Witch episode.
The left and right?
Yeah, I was complaining about a girl who did it to Trisha, and then Trisha admits that she also screws up the left and right. And then she's like, but it really is on the guys. They should know what I mean. It's like, no, we don't know. We see their left or right.
Yeah, you gotta be mind muters.
I remember I'm watching it today and I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. Why isn't she stopping him? At any moment,
for it to be cool. I don't know. Shut up.
You got to come up with some like bullshit thing for why.
She was distracted because she was trying to block Charles out, and
that's it?
Yeah,
I'm constantly blocking Charles. I can't. There, you figured it out. You figured it
You're
out.
You're welcome.
Okay. Because there's no way, and we haven't seen an example in this film of a psychic controlling multiple people's minds. Oh, wait, literally the previous scene.
Charles is stronger that way.
Okay. I like that Eric, they escape into a submarine that's underneath the ship. And they're just like diving. I like that Eric is like trying to pull it up. Yeah. But he's really just drowning himself. He's just like, blah, blah, blah. And like Charles has to like go in there and be like, stop.
He actually jumps in after him.
Yeah, he's like, you're not gonna win. You're gonna die. Let it go. So he lets it go. They go to the CIA facility that Oliver Platt has, and they meet Hank McCoy, played by Nicholas Hoult. He's terrible in this. He is awful in this. And for a while, I did not like Nicholas Hoult.
I don't think a lot of people were really that great in this movie, and I think it was the direction.
Maybe. He was
because he's really good.
I've seen him in other films. Actually,
I've seen him.
Wait, hold on. Is he Jack the Giant Killer? He might.
Is he?
Hold on. He's Jack the Giant Killer.
That's fucking hilarious.
We made a whole joke about how we didn't know the actor, and I just remembered it's this guy. Ewan McGregor, I think, was the bad guy in that movie. Maybe I'll watch it one day. I remember seeing him in movies and just not liking him. It wasn't until Fury Road where I'm like, okay, maybe this guy's good. And since then, I like him. Have you seen Renfield yet?
Not yet. That is on my to-do list.
God, Renfield is awesome, and he's really good.
I knew him from Skins.
Okay.
The UK show. And he was actually really good in that, too. I mean, obviously, it's like, teenagers acting, whatever, so it's not the greatest thing in the world, whatever, but, like, he did really well. Yeah. And, like, only, like, a few people from, like, that show ended up becoming, like, big people. Like, there was him. There's the girl who plays his sister. Oh, my God, what is her name? Kaya Scoldorado, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I know her.
She
was in Krull. And she was in the new Resident Evil movie.
And then Dev Patel.
Oh, yeah.
He's also in that. There's only like a handful of that group that actually like did something. Which is kind of really funny.
But yeah, he's won me over now. Now him and someone else in this movie are going to be in the new Superman. Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor now, and I think he shaved his head for it. So they're not doing the Jesse Eisenberg thing, whatever that was. So I like him now. I didn't like him in this, and also I hate what they did with Beast in this.
That was weird.
Okay, so if you're a comic fan, you know that before he was a blue cat man, Beast was like this big burly dude. And he was real muscly and whatnot. And then they show Beast in X-Men 2 on the TV screen for like a second in human form where he's being interviewed, but he's kind of like, he's got like a big suit on and whatnot. In this, Beast... No one knows he's a mutant because it's just his feet are weird.
Hand feet, basically.
Yeah, he gets outed by Xavier on accident, and Xavier like feels embarrassed, and it's like, well, Xavier, it's not like you can erase people's minds. You can just erase the last minute and reset everything, and it's fine. Let's just let that happen. So he's just like, oh, another mutant, and Oliver Platt's like, what? He's like, oh, my feet are weird, and it's like.
Like, what about like being smart? Like, couldn't that be like part of it at least?
Well, he's also got like the agility and stuff, but like his whole thing is like, I am a freak and I have to hide myself. I'm like, dude, this is after like World War II. There's probably a lot of like amputees and stuff around. Like you don't stand out as much as other mutants. Like, oh wow, your feet are weird.
Keep your fucking socks on. Like,
yeah, just people had weird feet before and after. There's people born with missing fingers and like You're not as like you're not Mystique is what I'm saying. You're not Azazel. You don't have a tail. You're not like a different color. Like, dude, relax. But instead he's like, I am a tortured mutant and I'm gross even though I'm a handsome British man. But yeah, apparently he built the Blackbird, the X-Jet, whatever it's called, back with the Hellfire gang. Shaw reveals that the Russians built him a helmet that can block psychics.
That helmet doesn't look familiar at all. I wonder what that could be.
I wonder who will have that helmet at the end of the movie.
And painted it a different color.
I do like that it has a little bit of the flair on it. They really try to do like the whole 60s feel with this. So yeah, he shows like it doesn't work. Totally blocks out psychics. Is it here where he asks her to get like water and she goes up to the glacier?
Yes,
yeah, that was kind of fun. Even though
to get ice, not water.
It looked like cartoony as shit, but that was kind of fun. So Raven and McCoy, they're bonding over being different. Because one's a horrifying blue monster lady and the other guy has weird feet. It's just not really.
Couldn't they have at least had it where he could like turn into the beast or whatever and then later have it permanent? Like, you know what I mean? Then they could actually bond over.
Like, he didn't even need to be blue, but like if he gets aggressive, he like bulks out like the Hulk or something.
I don't know.
It reminds me, me and Monica were joking about this in X-Men 3, where Rogue's like, can they cure our horrible powers? And Storm's like, nope, nothing wrong with us. Like, well,
yeah,
Storm.
You can touch people, you know.
So this is a big
have a normal life.
There's a big difference between changing the weather and sucking the life force out of someone and killing them.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hank and Mystique.
Yeah.
You don't understand, Mystique.
Or at least can he have like blue hair or something? You know what I mean? Where he has to like dye it. Yeah. Because like
you don't understand. Mystique, your feet are proportional. She's like, yeah, but there's like weird scales on them. You don't understand. When the internet gets invented, I'll never be able to make money off of these. She's like, what's the internet? He's like, I'm also working on that. It's next to the X-Jet and the brain reading device. I'm working on the internet. He just invented everything, apparently.
Oh my God.
I think I remember back in the day seeing that he apparently watched a lot of Frasier to imitate Kelsey Grammer. Where was any of that? He didn't sound or act or anything like him at all. It's almost like he's a liar. Okay, I like that he's like, hey, so I'm working on this thing that'll get rid of physical abilities, but it still allows us to have our powers, and your blood might be the key. And she's like, ooh, that's hot. Let's make out. But before she can make out with him, Eric comes in to cuck the day. Yeah.
No, it's not cucking. It's cock blocking.
Yeah, I guess it's not cucking yet. But yeah, he comes in. He's like,
hey. Yet he's not sitting in a chair watching them.
But that also means he was like lurking, watching two teenagers, and like, I'm gonna ruin this guy's fucking moment.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ruin this guy's moment. Yeah, and he comes in. He's like, oh, kinky. He's like, by the way, I wouldn't change anything about you. Really, Eric? He gets her to change later. He's like, change all your thoughts and whatnot to my belief system. Anyway, Charles begs Eric to ignore his revenge mission. He's like, hey, man, we can really use you. Stop focusing on revenge. Really help out the mutant team. And Eric's like, I'm not really about that, but I guess so. But he convinces the CIA and Charles. He's like, look, if we're going to look for mutants, we're going to find them, not the CIA. And Oliver Platt has no say in this, even though they're using all his resources. So remember that scene in the first two movies? There were two scenes in the first two movies where they mentioned that Magneto helped build Cerebro. Mm-hmm. Ignore that. That's not the case. Beast built Cerebro. Unless Magneto meant the one at the mansion, maybe. So they built Cerebro, and I like that it's like in a big little like white room, and it's not as streamlined as the later one. It's like printing out onto like computer paper. And there's the famous line where he's like, "You sure you don't want to shave your head?" He's like, "Don't touch my hair." That was funny because we know he will go bald at one point. It didn't need to be tied to the plot of any kind of film. It's just going to happen naturally, but we know it'll happen eventually. We'll get to that in Apocalypse. I got another thing to bitch about in this movie, so the hair can wait till we get there. And then we see a bunch of future mutants from the team. Storm, Cyclops, someone else. Here's the problem. If we're going based on the actor's age, they all would have been toddlers or not born yet.
Also, just this whole scene of them like going out together to like pick up these other people to like bring them to the team.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like one of those like, hey, me and my partner saw you from across the bar.
It really does have that energy.
I really thought, especially the one part, what's her name? The the girl with the wings.
Angel. Oh yeah, her name is Angel Salvador, and she was co-created by comic creator Ethan Van Sciver, who is local. I wanted him to come on to review Green Lantern, but apparently he doesn't like talking about that movie. He got kicked out of the mainstream comic scene, and he started Comic Skate.
Oh.
I don't think you'd like his personal beliefs, but he's actually a fascinating guy to listen to. He's got a lot of fun behind the scenes comic stuff. This is a character he created.
The scene when they're sitting in the bed together and they're trying to recruit her, I thought they were all going to smooch.
Well, I think that's what she thought. Well, she said dance, but once that close,
Which is,
once the curtain closes, then even goes.
In general, like those two, I don't know. They were giving me big. We're going to kiss later, bro.
And it doesn't help that he's like, oh, we'll show you ours if you show me yours.
Well, not even just this scene. Just like after this, I'm just kind of like, are they a little?
But why do you think Moira's in there? It's to throw off the gay stuff. Oh yeah, Charles is really into Moira. Oh yeah. It's like the end of Return of the King, where Sam's like, I really like that girl back home. And Frodo's like, yeah, sure you do, buddy. So yeah, her power is that her tattoos turn into wings, and she can, well, later on she reveals that she can spit fire.
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with this character. She was very new at the time.
What's the Zoe Kravitz?
Zoe Kravitz, yeah. Zoe Kravitz, very beautiful. Then we get to see Darwin, who will also be in the new Superman movie. He will be playing Mr. Terrific in James Gunn's Superman. He was also in the My Bloody Valentine 3D remake, which I reviewed.
Without me.
Again, I was like, I don't need to put Johanna in this episode. She'll be in the big Return of the King episode, okay?
Mean to me. Yeah, then you kept me out of episodes for, how long now?
Though that was all accidents. You were supposed to be in a couple of them.
When I say I want a movie now, I'm getting that movie. I will show up here if I find out you're filming a movie without me.
Look,
and there'll be 4 people, or I'll just kick you out.
Look, you can pick a movie. Just make sure it's a good one. The ad revenue is not so good this year on YouTube. So they meet Darwin, and his power is he can adapt to everything. I like how they prove it because he's a cab driver, and they threw the toll thing. And he's like, oh, okay. They meet Cyclops' brother Havoc, who he doesn't show his powers right away, but basically he can shoot. In the comics, I think it was from his hands, and they do it in the next film. He's like shooting from his hands.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like he can't control.
Yeah.
He has like the same red energy, although it's like a laser. And again, Cyclops' blasts aren't really lasers.
Whatever.
But yeah, so he could like shoot energy out of his body, but it's unfocused right now. And then we meet Banshee, and this actor's voice always rubbed me the wrong way.
You like fish, I like fish too. Maybe we should get a bite sometime and talk about it.
He has a weird voice. I don't know. There's something about his voice that I kept seeing him in movies around this time. Like, that guy's voice is really irking me. I don't like it. But he's fine. He's Banshee, who's a character I also don't like. And he's a little too young to be hooking up with Moira, so I'm assuming that relationship's not going to happen like it does in the comics.
I don't know. You saw Star Wars.
Yeah. But yeah, his power is that he can scream really loud. Then we get the Wolverine cameo. It was kind of nice that the X-Men movies took a break from Wolverine. Like, at least this one did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, because he just got his own movie. Wasn't very good. And I'm like, oh, give him a cameo. Why not? Because his character would have been around at that point. It makes sense to have him there. But this started the trend of him cursing, like saying fuck. They started putting in like a bunch of movies, I think. I just love
this gave me a giggle. I enjoyed it.
Go fuck yourself. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, see you later.
So then we cut back to the Hellfire Club. They're looking at the nuclear reactor. He mentions that they're children of the atom. This was like a thing from the comics where they decided that radiation, not necessarily like the nuclear bomb, but like radiation in general is like what caused the genetic mutations. But I think some of the comics later on just retconned it.
TV, radio, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cell phones. No.
But I don't know if we mentioned the first movie. Well, like when I heard Stan Lee talk about it, do you know why he decided to make them like evolved mutants?
Mm-mm.
He got tired of coming up with ways characters got their powers. So he's like, oh, what if they just when they hit puberty, they get special powers?
Some do, some don't.
Yeah. It's like, that's a cool way to do it.
Yeah,
After a while, you're like, how many people are going to fall into nuclear reactors and atom bombs and stuff? How many experiments could go wrong? What if they're just born and they have these powers? So this movie's going on the whole, like, radiation is what's causing it. And then Emma feels Xavier because of Cerebro. She's like, I shouldn't be able to feel him at this far, so I guess there is a length. But she's like, something's going on there. Then we see Charles and Eric play chess. This might be the first time they're playing chess in the... No.
What?
Johanna, playing chess is not gay, okay? Andrew Tate and his brother played chess. You might be onto something, but let's get back into this.
Jesus Christ.
Andrew Tate is so gay.
He's so gay. Have you seen the way he walks?
Yeah.
Like, honey.
And his brother. That's why.
And he's talking about how he doesn't even enjoy having sex with women, and it's just like, honey.
I feel bad for the guys who got roped in by him, because it's like, well, you told them they were all going to get laid, but no one's getting laid at this point because the women are getting worse and the guys have less money. And you can't really sell him on that. So now he's trying to pivot to like, you don't even need to get laid. Don't even bother with it. It's like, oh, dude, come on, man. All right, back to this. So yeah, they're playing chess and they're arguing over them finding the mutants because, of course, Eric is like, yep, that's how it starts, cataloging how many there are. So yeah, you get to see some of the tension there in their friendship. Then the young X-Men come up with names and they show off their powers. And what are the names? It's Havoc, Mystique, Banshee.
Darwin stayed
Darwin.
It fits. I did like when he put his head in the aquarium.
Yeah, that was cool. And Angel is just Angel.
Yeah.
Which is confusing because there is
an Angel. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's Angel South. I'm like, they don't have like a mutant name for her. Like, that's kind of confusing.
Why couldn't she be like Pixie or something? You know what I mean?
Something. I thought that was her name, but I guess not. See, the problem is Angel is literally one of the first X-Men. It's not like it was the name of like an obscure X-Men from one comic. Like it's literally one of the OG.
Yeah, an actual character.
So yeah, they're all showing off their powers, and Beast doesn't have a
cute little
name.
bonding moment. Like
Havoc is just really mean to Beast and his feet. Why don't you call you Bigfoot? And he's like, oh.
It's just like, Havoc, how about you like not accidentally kill people?
Yeah, how do you do that?
But I guess Beast is better than me because I would have clapped right back.
But yeah, this is when he shows off his power and he's shooting the discs.
I did like the scene and he's like, stay back, and then everybody's like, no, we're gonna watch.
It's like, no, really, stay back. Look, give the Summers boys a break, okay? Their dad is currently in space fighting aliens. I forgot about that until I was rewatching the cartoon. I'm like, oh yeah, their dad was a traveling spaceman. I totally forgot about that. Charles, Eric, and Moira, they go to Moscow, or they're going to Russia to stop the Russian general played by Raid Savage, blah, 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 blah. You've seen this guy in a million movies. The Russian general guy with the mustache. He's in a million films.
Yeah, whatever.
It's like an Eyes Wide Shut. He's in like the Taken movies. He's in Batman Begins.
Eyes Wide Shut.
He is.
That's the first one you bring up, though?
Yeah, that was the first one. I love that movie. He's in Batman Begins. He's the homeless guy with the coat. Bruce Wayne gives the coat to him, and he's like, nice coat. So they're on their way to stop him. I love the scene with the checkpoint. That they didn't know was on the map, and Charles has to like make the Russians think the back thing is empty, and all the Americans are like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And I like how Emma is the one who meets with the Russian general because Shaw has other plans. And I like the little trick she does where she makes it seem like he's hooking up with her, and she's just sitting off him, and she's like, pathetic, just like ignoring him. Also, that's how he hooks up with girls. He just goes, that's all he's doing.
Fondling the boobies? I don't know.
Not really, because it's PG-13. So.
I don't know. Well, probably it's the only thing they could think of.
So they're gonna bail because Shaw's not there, and Eric's like, "Nah, I got other plans." He goes in, not really guns blazing, but I like that he gets like the barbed wire and he wraps those dudes up in barbed wire. He's like dismantling all the guys' guns. He's just taking them out. I'm like, all right, this is cool. So yeah, and then they break in. They see Emma there. She's blocked. She goes diamond mode and blocks them.
Yeah, and then he starts wrapping the bed because he rips the bed frame apart to hold her together.
Metal bed frames are stronger than diamonds. Diamonds aren't that strong.
Yeah, what the hell? I highly doubt that metal bed frame could get through the diamond, but whatever.
I know diamonds aren't unbreakable. Like, they can be broken, but like...
Yeah, but a metal bed frame just tying around the neck.
And like that, I assume like she goes full like thick diamond.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they threaten to kill her if she doesn't give up the plan. Yeah,
Eric is.
Yeah, so they read her mind, and they learn that his plan is to launch all the nukes to increase radiation, to create more mutants, and kill all the humans. And they're imagining like the Capitol building, and everyone's cheering his name. So yeah, they get that information. They take her prisoner. The CIA guards make fun of the kids.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. They're like, wing lady, show us your wings. Feet boy, show us your feet. But I kind of like this scene. Again, Nightcrawler's awesome, and everyone liked Nightcrawler. So it's cool to see an evil Nightcrawler. You're like, oh, what would a bad guy do with that power? I love he's just picking up the guns.
Just dropping them.
Fucking poor Oliver Platt. He's unceremoniously just exited from the film. He just gets splattered everywhere.
What is that?
That is a cool shot where he's suddenly like in front of the moon, and as he's falling, you see more of the guards falling.
In general, too, whatever. When they didn't know what was going on, they just kind of hear like the thumping.
Yeah,
like,
the build up is really good. They're like, what is that? Because at first you think it's just him teleporting. It's like, oh no, those are bodies hitting the ground. Azazel's coming back in Deadpool 3. Oh. Yeah, they show that one still where they're in front of Ant-Man's corpse. The confirmed ones are Pyro, and he's wearing the comic accurate suit. Azazel, Deathstrike. Lady Deathstrike's back.
Is your favorite actress coming back?
Which one?
You know.
From an X-Men movie?
From Deadpool.
Who's my favorite actress in Deadpool?
The first one.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Big buff lady.
Oh, Gina Carano?
Your favorite actress.
No.
What's your favorite?
Did you see I did that poll? And it was like, who would you rather return to a franchise? Gina Carano in Star Wars or me in Batman? I won. I won.
I voted for Gina. No, I didn't. I didn't vote at all.
Here's my take on it. I don't want her back in Star Wars. But that's because I didn't want her in Star Wars in the first place. And also I didn't want that show made. And I wish the show would get canceled. And it was wiped
It's not getting canceled.
It's so funny to join in on the Gina Carano thing. I'm like, I don't think she should have been hired in the first place. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm alone against all of you. She was mediocre and haywire in Deadpool. Why do we keep putting her in
always
things?
Mediocre.
I know you love her. You love that Joe Biden movie, but we got to get back into X-Men.
It's a Joe Biden movie?
Oh, you didn't?
Is it that thing that she made with the Daily Wire or whatever?
Yeah, that's weird. The Daily Wire movies didn't take off. And suddenly she's suing Disney and trying to get back into Star Wars. So Charles shows up in his helmet, looking all cool. I do like that the guards like try to shoot him and he's like absorbing all of it. They hit him with the rocket and he just blows all of them up. That was badass. He kills the 2 guards who are assholes.
I hate this scene.
Oh, what's about to happen? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he comes in. He's kind of doing the Magneto role. He's like pre-Magneto. He's like, hey, guys, these humans don't like you, but I do, and I want to make the world a better place for us. You should join me. And, of course, some people can be like, Angel's like, yeah, people have been kind of shitty to me. Maybe you guys don't have the same experience, but I'm going to go with this guy. And Darwin's like, I'll go with you. He decides he's going to protect Angel so Havoc can shoot his lasers everywhere. But then Darwin, who can
adapt to anything, can't swallow.
He swallows the energy. See, how you get around that is like he's still technically alive, but to adapt the energy, he had to become energy, and he's not able to take physical form.
So did they think oh, this would be cool to have him in this because he hasn't been in an X-Men movie yet, blah blah blah, and then they realize, oh shit, we don't know what to do with him because he's OP.
Yeah, and
is that what happened?
Look, that's why when a character is super powerful, you need a weakness, and he didn't have one. That's why that's how you write around it. Be like, oh, maybe he's in a statue or he's energy, and they're like, he's still technically alive. He's just figuring out how to rebuild his body.
He didn't have to just
instead he just literally dies, and I'm like, but that's not how that works.
I was literally just like.
I mean, I guess the only other way you could really kill him is if Leech was there, but he's not born yet because he could turn off people's healing powers. I think I was joking about that with the end of X-Men 3. Leech is at the X-Men mansion. And it's like Wolverine would always have to avoid him because if Leech got near Wolverine, he's like, oh no, I'm suddenly 100 years old and my bones can't shrink like humans do because they're covered in He'd have to run past Leech every single time. It's like, oh God, be horrible. Be terrible.
It was stupid.
That was stupid.
It was stupid.
It made me so mad. I'm just like, but that, because again, that
would have been a funny thing if they actually did the statue thing, whatever, where like, say where that statue that they ruined, like Havoc, like knocked the head off.
They move him there.
He's like, he's stuck there now.
Like, we'll figure out.
Adapting to get back.
Until he can figure out how to rebuild his cells.
Yeah, like, whatever.
Something, anything. Because now people have just been fighting about it for like over 10 years. Like, this makes no fucking sense.
It's stupid. The dumbest thing in the movie, personally.
Yeah. Shaw takes Angel. They get out of there. The other mutants stay. Then he forces the Russian guy to put missiles in Cuba. And he's like, what? I'm not doing that. I'm a bad guy, but I'm not that bad. And then the other mutants show up. And I guess once you see the devil, you're like, oh, hold on. I better do what the devil tells. It's not like people weren't really Christian or anything in the 60s. The devil shows up and it's like, oh, well, I'm going to get killed if I don't do it. Then we get a random Ray Wise cameo.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. I always like seeing Ray Wise. Not always in good movies, but it made me want to watch RoboCop and Twin Peaks again. He's in the war room. He's like, oh, no, they're putting their missiles there. We got to put our missiles here. What are we going to do? Then Charles moves the teens to his mansion. This happens really late in the movie. I thought this was going to be a bigger part of the movie.
Yeah, they would have gotten out of the CIA stuff earlier, and then...
The CIA, Eric Charles stuff really lingers for a while, and then it delivers on the promise of the movie of Charles getting the team together and training them, but it's done in like a montage almost. As Russia and U.S. are preparing for war. So a couple of things happen in this montage. It's all intercut, but we'll go one at a time. Charles is convincing Eric to use a different emotion to focus on to use his powers, because he's only been using rage.
Yep.
And he's like, have a happy memory of your mom lighting a menorah. And he's like, okay, now you can move that big satellite. That's always been there. When we watched the other X-Men movies, there was always just a big satellite.
I remember. It's my favorite thing to look at in the shots.
A very real satellite. It's a very
big
real
and white.
But yeah, he's able to move it, and I'm assuming a bunch of people had their TV and whatnot ruin that thing.
Yeah. What was it? DirecTV, whatever. That was a satellite.
Yeah. All right, my grandfather had a friend who lived in the mountains, and I had to go up there, and he had like a big satellite, and not this obviously, but he had a big like satellite dish that you had to hit a button to like move to get different channels. It was like insane. So yeah, then he has Havoc test out his powers in a bunker that his stepdad built. He's like, yeah, my stepdad built this bunker. He thought nuclear war was going to happen. So they end up making a device to help channel his energy through his chest.
Kind of like a satellite.
So they were able to stop that. He helps Hank unleash his beast. He's like, hey, if you don't wear shoes, you could run more gooder.
So stupid.
And this effect looked really bad too. The speeding effect. This almost looks like a comedy, like sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of okay with it though, because like it's based on a fucking comic, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so,
but like coming off the other ones, again, not as bad as the Wolverine movie, but still.
It's a reboot, whatever.
So yeah, he's like, hey, if you don't wear shoes, you'll be able to run faster. And then I do like them testing out Banshee with the flight suit. Why would you skip to flying? It's like, how about you try different pitches and whatnot? You meet it, you're like, this power's strong. We can make you fly. And the guy's like, I don't want to fly. What the fuck are you talking about? So I do like that he falls the first time.
The only reason they did it is because they needed somebody else to be able to fly.
Yeah.
Because Angel's flying.
So I like they throw him off the satellite and then he uses his power.
Why couldn't they use Darwin for that type of shit where they had him fucking get wings? Like, what?
I don't know.
Fuck this.
I don't even care about the Darwin character, to be honest.
Neither do I. It's just stupid. They could have done so many other things. I'm mad.
It makes me just as mad as guy who can grow his arms back but not his balls in X-Men 3. It's just why did he only grow his arms back and not his balls?
Anyway.
And I made a point in that episode. I'm like, there are people who go their whole lives not losing their arms. How did he find out he had that power? He could have been 90 and just cut his arm off and been like,
anyway.
Okay. His arms could grow back, but he still is bald. He couldn't grow back his hair. Okay. So yeah, then Eric does a little bit of motivating on his own. He tells Raven, it's like, hey, if you're constantly like in human form, you're not like using your entire ability, like you'll be distracted. So he kind of like convinces her, like, hey, chill on the human form for a bit. And then she's stronger when she's not in it. She's able to like pick up the weights. I could pick up weights, not heavy ones, but I could pick them up now.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone else is enjoying Buff Tony. Why aren't you enjoying Buff Tony? I can flex now because Joey C's not here. He flexes in some videos of me, and I have to tell him to stop because his arms are nicer.
Are you attracted to that?
No, it makes me look bad because I'm trying to make my arms look better.
I fail to see how that's a thing.
Because then he shows off his. When are you going to work out with me and Joey C?
So you want to make make out with Joey C?
No!
That's why you're mad that...
That's not manly.
Everything... That's
not...
It is manly.
No. Joey C, turn this episode off if you're watching. Okay. He's like, live your truth, Raven. Live your truth.
This is the scene where it does the weird showing her entire body in the blue. Is this that part or is that later?
No, that's coming up. That's
Okay.
coming up. So McCoy makes his physical attribute cure, so he won't have gross feet. And then he kind of calls Raven ugly.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He's like, my feet.
Because she backed out. She's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
He's like, my feet and your blue skin will be criticized equally. And she's like, well, again, I feel like I'm gonna get more criticized than you. But she has a point. She's like, no, I shouldn't have to hide this thing that I can't really control. It should just be accepted.
It's who I am. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Woke stuff. But he's just like, yo, you'll never be beautiful. And she's like, what? And she like turns blue and she goes back into a human. He's like, see, now you're pretty. I'm like, oh, buddy. He's a young guy. You'll make mistakes. It's like when I had a girlfriend who said, do these make me look heavy? And I answered appropriately instead of lying. I learned the hard way. I should have said, no, looks great on you. Always be lying, right? Tell the men, always be lying.
Is this why you're alone? Because like things are starting to make more sense to me.
That was teenage Tony. We can't blame modern Tony for things teenage Tony did.
Don't lie to your significant other. Like,
No, always be lying. Always lie. Lie until the day you die. That's what women do. They lie and eat hot chip.
I do love me my spicy chips.
Oh God, someone did a thing. They're like, post 4 things that remind you of women or whatever, and someone retweeted it with the bisexual flag, hot chip, a phone.
Amazing. Speaking of like hot chips, have you tried the Doritos, the Baja ones with the mango?
No.
They're delicious. They're spicy.
I only eat the Quest protein chips now.
Yeah, I can't. No, sorry.
What?
I need to like live and like actually like eat real food.
No, I'm trying to live longer. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm not telling you to binge a whole bag. Like, you can eat like 3 chips, Tony.
I eat my Quest protein chips. They're actually really good. They're actually not that bad.
I can't.
The taco flavored one is my favorite.
Of course it is.
They also make protein Reese's cups. I love those. Not the most healthiest for you, but they give you more protein. Anyway, so yeah, Charles and Eric argue against killing Shaw. He's like, I hope you don't kill him. Maybe we can work with him or whatever, or persuade him. And Eric's like, no, I'm going to kill him until he is dead. He will be dead.
I'm gonna kill him until he's dead.
Yeah. Hank takes the cure, but it backfires.
Womp womp.
I don't think we needed an origin for why he was specifically blue. There are just a bunch
that,
of
but
blue.
also the scene was like also like edited weird.
Yeah, it was a little bizarre.
It looked weird.
Yeah.
Like I get what they were going for, but like
because it's all in the POV. Yeah.
He looked like shit.
His reveal is not here yet, but I have complaints too.
He looks like shit.
So yeah, it backfires. He like becomes beastly. Again, we had that whole thing where I said they were just mutants, so they didn't need that. And I know Beast evolves in the comics, but I don't think it was ever tied to anything like this. Raven tries to bone Eric, and this lead.
I actually like the scene.
This lead led to speaking of memes, this led to a bunch of memes.
The
Like,
meme.
I said the real Raven.
Perfection.
He's like, no, maybe when you're older. And then I did like she turns into Rebecca Romaine for a little bit. That was a fun cameo. But yeah, and then he makes out with her. Even though he said maybe in a few years, and then she turned blue.
How old is he supposed to be?
Well, he's definitely probably early 30s or something.
Yeah?
She's got to be 20s. 20, 21. Because she's probably the same age as Charles. He just graduated
definitely
college.
around there. Yeah.
They're like early 20s, I think. Yeah. So he's making out with her. So she's like, I don't like Hank. I like you, guy. So she's getting then she goes naked. Probably didn't put her clothes back on from Eric's room. Walked right into the kitchen. And Charles is like, why are you naked? And he should say, like, what's that sweaty smell, too? What's going on there? What's going on? Were you in the gym or something? Didn't you work out earlier? How many
training more?
Yeah, so she shows off her body, and he's all like, ow, what are you doing? Stop it. And she's like, this is who I am, mutant and proud. Would you have accepted me or whatnot? And she's kind of like, hey, you've been kind of hiding
And then she compares herself to when she was a child. She's like, oh yeah, like you found me the first time like this, or whatever, and he was acting all weird. And it's just like, bro, like her boobies are still covered. Like, shut the fuck up, grow up. Like,
no, they're not covered. That's just what they look like.
They're still covered, like...
Not really, no, and Misty...
You don't see the nipple, they're covered.
She doesn't have nipples. Those are what they look like. I now have to censor her because...
But no, you don't, because apparently the fucking actual areola and nipples the issue. Because men can show off their fucking areolas and nipples with their fucking hairy asses.
They shouldn't.
I agree.
They shouldn't.
More women's nipples, please.
Everyone should be... everyone should be covered up.
No.
Everyone covered.
No.
I'm going to keep my shirt on forever.
Thank God.
Until I hit my goal weight. So anyway, I mean, there's some sites where the shirt comes up, but we can't talk about those. So yeah, she's naked and proud.
I'm naked and I'm proud.
Freaking out Charles. She's getting radicalized by Eric. She's like, fuck you, Charles. Eric, I like...
Free the nipple.
She's like, I agree with Eric, and it's not because it's the only boy I've ever made out with that I might have maybe lost my virginity 5 minutes ago to him. I just really believe him. It's like, okay, Mystique, I think you're a little, maybe you should really weigh the pros and cons of each side. So the X-Men find Hank's office. It's trashed, but he left them a nice little note. And they put on their X suits, which they found a good reason for why they would have suits. He's like, well, none of us adapted to G-forces or bullets. And they are black and blue, which are much like the original X-Men teams. That was like a fun nod. They don't look fully like the costumes, but they work. And it was nice to finally see colorful costumes in an X-Men movie. They don't do it again until Dark Phoenix sorry, the end of Apocalypse, and then they don't deliver on that in Dark Phoenix. So this was a nice change because at this point we're getting kind of tired of the black leather. The next movie they have colorful outfits, but they don't look like their traditional outfits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so then they go to the air base where they get the Blackbird, and Hank shows off his new look. I don't like it.
It looks like shit.
Yeah, the comics. This isn't entirely the movie's fault. The comics around this time were trying to like make him more cat-like. They kept like evolving Beast to look more like a lion. So his little cat nose, I don't like it at all. I didn't like it in the comics. I don't like it here.
Yeah.
And the next movie, they totally just make him look like he did in X-Men 3.
Yeah.
They got rid of the cat nose. They're like, nah, get rid of that. I get what they were going for, but like it didn't work for me. And his stupid little glasses.
He looks so weird. He wasn't like proportional either.
It looked weird. Yeah, I guess maybe if he didn't have the suit on, and he was all hairy Wolfman, maybe it would have worked better. But him, like, in the tight suit with the big head, I didn't like it. Although I shouldn't be making fun of people with big heads, because...
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Dick Masterson has been spreading this idea that I have a giant head. What an asshole.
You know, they did an experiment on his head where he's trying to see if it's round.
Yeah.
Because it only looks flat.
I think if having a flat head is actually more offensive.
Well, because
they
they put popsicle sticks. They put 3 popsicle sticks and drilled holes in them just to make sure there's a curve in his head. Did you see that episode?
He looks like a character ice cream.
Because some people think his head is only a flat, 2-dimensional head.
No, I see those Sonic the Hedgehog like popsicles, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that looks a lot like Tony with the eyeballs kind of falling off.
But it's
to the
actually
side
in
shit.
3 dimensions.
If I could make a Tony from Hack the Movies
A man
ice cream
sailed
bar,
around Christopher
those
Columbus.
little Italian eyeballs kind of fall, chocolate eyeballs are kind of falling off to the
is that
side.
included in Super Killer?
And it comes with, you get a Tony. I'm going to put that in the bag.
You'd need a thermos to keep it
You
cold.
need a
by the
thermos to
way.
keep your Tony from Hack the Movies
Popsicles? Holy fuck, I'm going to actually look about how to make
See how to make popsicles?
Tony from Hack the Movies popsicles.
It's because he has a tiny face. He needs to make fun of other people to make himself feel better. He should be ashamed. Unlike Mystique, who should be proud of how she looks, Dick Masterson should be ashamed.
Oh my
He
god.
should be ashamed and hide his face. Vito should also be ashamed of the way he looks. Okay. Then we see that there's a conflict about to happen in Cuba. The Americans are on one side, the Russians are on the other side. Random cameos from Jason Begay, which I used to call him Beige, but apparently that's not how his name is pronounced. And Michael Ironside, of all people. Jason Begay, you know what the last movie was that I reviewed that he was in?
What, Tony?
Home Alone 4. He replaced Kevin's dad in Home Alone 4. Go back and watch our What is the Worst Home Alone movie episode.
Definitely not 3.
No, it is not 3. It would have been 3 had they stopped at 3. But they kept going, and it was,
I love Home Alone 3.
Have you seen 4, 5, or 6?
No, don't plan to.
The Silent
I've
Hill,
heard about it.
The Silent Hill girls in 5.
The like little girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Malcolm McDowell is also in 5. Anyway, yeah, so random cameos from them. I know they're not cameos, but like they really stick out. And I'm like, I know who they are. Why don't they have bigger roles? Who are these people? Both armies are ready to attack a ship. There's a Russian cargo ship that's about to break the embargo line. And the Americans are like, oh, well, Russia's drawing first blood. But the Russians are like, what are they doing? And it turns out Azazel's killed everyone because the X-Men are there. They show up in their jet.
Yep.
And Charles is reading the mind of someone on the ship to see what happens. And Azazel kills him. So Charles knows that Azazel is piloting the ship. And Charles should use that mind control thing he has to mind control Azazel to turn off the ship. And then teleport to Sebastian and kill Sebastian. Instead, Charles doesn't do any of what I just said.
They have to find a reason for Magneto to lift the fucking submarine.
Instead, Charles mind erases another Russian. So they get the Russians to fire on the Russian ship to show that they're not the bad guys. And I do like that the guy didn't know he did it. They're like, you just stopped a major war. He's like, what just happened? Where am I? So Shaw's pissed. He's like, what the fuck? I had this all planned. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to absorb the reactor. I'm going to turn it into a bomb. One way or another, we're starting this goddamn war. So they can't find the submarine. And they're like, we need sonar. So they drop Banshee into the water. He uses his sound, whatever, to find the fucking submarine. Transfers the information to Charles, I guess. And they find it. And then Eric.
Why couldn't Eric just feel for it?
There's a lot of metal in the ocean.
I think there's a big difference between the little tiny pieces of like other things left there and a giant fucking submarine.
No, there's probably like giant pieces of metal. Like
come on now.
And whatnot.
Come on now.
I don't know. He's still learning. But yeah, this is like the awesome moment where he's hanging out of the jet and he's lifting the sub out of the water. Looks cool as hell. And then Riptide remembers he's in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I don't get to do anything cool. I just get to blow people.
He gets to blow people?
I did it. I honestly wasn't planning that to be a joke. I said that naturally and it hit me as I was saying it. Like, oh, that doesn't sound good. So he's like, all right, I'm going to blow the X-Jet. And he like throws the tornado at the Blackbird, crashes on the beach. And the submarine also crashes on the beach. Everyone crashes on the beach.
Do-do-do-do.
What?
Oh,
What is that?
SpongeBob reference.
Oh.
Stepping on the beach. Do-do-do-do.
I haven't watched SpongeBob since it was airing the first time.
You're a millennial. You're supposed to like keep all the old SpongeBob knowledge like internally in you and then just randomly quote it sometimes.
I have some, just not all of it.
I have the two.
This just shows that you are not actually a millennial and you're older than you say you are. I fucking knew it.
I have the 2 hours later. Those I have memorized. Anyway.
So yeah, they land on the beach. Eric is gonna hunt for Shaw in the submarine.
Yeah, go get him.
And
Fuck
Charles is like, he's in like this like shielded room with like these mirrors, and he's wearing the helmet. He's like, he's in there somewhere. I can't find him. Go in there, stop whatever's he doing, and I will turn off his brain. Havoc, you got Havoc and Beast are fighting Azazel. They're teleporting everywhere. I do like when Beast puts the claws at Azazel. It's like, all right, you're gonna have to teleport us to safety, or you die too. So yeah, they fight a little bit. Havoc's machine gets destroyed, so he can't like focus his power. Angel Salvador shows up, spitting stuff. She should really be putting on like some kind of armor. I don't think she needs to be wearing the stripper suit anymore.
Yeah, what the hell? Whatever.
I mean, it looks good. Don't get me wrong. I like Zoe Kravitz. I like her in the outfit, but I'm like, hey, you should probably be wearing something a little bit. There's guns and stuff around.
Yeah.
Are you immune to your own fire? What if you shoot fire and someone knocks it back at you? You're gonna get all burnt and shit.
Whatever.
Anyway. So this is all over the place. It's constantly intercutting. And meanwhile, Mystique's like, I want to join in the fight. Charles is like, no, watch that door. And also Moira's there, being completely useless.
She's just there.
She's there because she's CIA lady. So yeah, Shaw is trying to recruit Eric. Eric gets into the room. And he's like, come on, be my guy. And then he throws Eric, which makes a crack in the window. Yep. And suddenly Charles is like, wait, keep doing that. I'm almost in there. Meanwhile, Havoc takes out Angel. I like Mystique tricks Azazel. Oh, by the way, Riptide got taken out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think Havoc just blasted him, and that was like the end of Riptide in the fight. So yeah, she pretends to be Sebastian, but she has the helmet on. I'm like, does she know what the helmet looked like?
Whatever.
Was Charles able to see the helmet through them and transfer?
I think it was just a continuity thing.
Nah, whatever. I mean, Charles probably could have been like, this is what it looks like. Transform into that. So yeah, they trick him. They take him out. Now this is awesome. This is awesome. Eric is able to get the upper hand on him. He's broken enough of the mirrors. He gets the cable to take the helmet off, and Charles is able to freeze him. But I guess because he's got all that nuclear energy in him, he's like, I can't hold him for long.
Yeah.
You gotta stop him right now. But don't kill him, because you'll be a bad guy. What else was he gonna do? Like, I don't understand Charles. Like, Charles, he is a nuclear bomb right now. What else was Magneto supposed to do? It's gonna go somewhere. He's gonna put that energy somewhere. You're not gonna be able to take him in. So yeah, I like at this point, he's like, hey, Shaw, you're absolutely right. All the humans hate us, and we need to dominate over them because they will never accept us. And you're 100% right. I agree with everything you said.
But.
And I owe my existence to you, but.
You killed my mother.
You killed my mom. Shouldn't have killed my mom.
If you didn't kill the mom, you would have had a brand new weapon right there. Just saying.
And I do like the callback to the coin. He's like, I'm going to count to 3.
I love that he kept it just to fucking kill him with it. It's so good.
And I'm going to move this coin. I like Charles has to keep him frozen. So he can't like do anything. And
it's not a Hack the Movies episode without me whacking this.
And Eric put on the helmet so Charles couldn't fuck with him, which was fun.
Yep.
But yeah, and I like the whole scene where the coin goes in his head and it keeps cutting back and forth to Charles
he can
screaming.
Like see it moving.
Yeah.
I would assume he feels it because
because he's in what's his face's head. And in my mind, I'm like, well, where did all that energy go? Shouldn't he just blow up at that point? I guess that's not how it works.
Whatever.
So yeah, that scene is awesome.
Maybe he needs to like unleash it himself somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever.
But yeah, then it's like the coin is all bloody and it lands on the thing. It was cool as shit. That scene was so
even
cool.
when he exits the submarine, he's like floating and everything.
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like, all right.
They get him like, that's like the first time he kind of.
Mystique, I get it.
He's like, so yeah, he comes out and he's like, hey, we're going to team up. We're going to stop fighting. The real enemy's out there. And he's kind of right. Because then the Americans are Russians.
Yeah, they're about to freaking nuke them.
Hey, we can just, Stryker's dad is just like, hey, if we just bomb the beach now, we can kill all of them. And someone should say, the guy who can move metal, who we all just saw move metal, I don't think these rockets are going to work. We should rethink this. But instead, no one says that. Again, they weren't thinking really clearly. This was a year after the Bay of Pigs.
Also, Americans are dumb.
Well, cutting that
you heard me.
Out. How dare you?
You heard me.
Those Russians should have kept them in line. All the rockets go off. Because again,
None of these people called the war room and said, no, that guy can control metal. This won't work. We should rethink this. Instead, they're like, nah, shoot them all. And the Russians decided to shoot them all. The Russians should have been like, after you, America. And then they should have not shot it and be like, what are you doing? Oh, can you believe they tried to shoot you? Guy who controls metal? You should take him out. Take him out.
Wasn't Rose Byrne's character like trying to like call to?
And they were
like,
just ignoring it. Because like, we have an agent on there. She's a good agent. And they're like, nah, a lady? Pfft, get her out. Well, the whole movie is them being like, why is a lady an agent? So yeah, he stops all the rockets. Shows off his power. And like, would that be enough demonstration? No. He's like, I am an asshole. I need to turn this around and kill all of them to death. And then apparently no one else tries to stop Magneto except for Charles.
That's a good scene though.
Yeah, where he's like,
because he's like tackled him and he's like
constantly like
trying to get it,
tackling him. And I really think Beast should have joined in on the fight. He's like, hey Charles, you're not as strong. He's like, just start beating the shit.
Or at least everybody should, like, somebody's trying to pull like Charles off of like Magneto, and then Magneto's like trying to go, but then someone's trying to like hold his hand down or something. Like there could have been everybody involved.
But no, it's cool. Every time he fights, the rockets start to fall and then they pick up again.
I love
that. But yeah, then Moira starts shooting him and he deflects the bullet. Hits Charles' spine.
Didn't we talk about this? Were we like both like,
we're like, really in this movie? Like you had to do it?
I think we literally both went, oh.
It felt forced.
Yeah.
It felt really forced. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I guess if you're gonna like do like the whole like them splitting friends, that is a good moment to have it. But like, it just felt really forced.
Mm.
And prequel stuff usually feels forced. Like they have to connect things. So I'm like, okay, like I would have been fine if that happened like in another movie.
Later, yeah.
Because there's like flashbacks of him early on having legs, being able to do all this stuff. So yeah, he gets shot in the spine, the rockets go down. I like that he's about to kill Moira. He's like, it's your fault. He's like, no, Eric, it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're right.
You could have deflected it like that way, not towards people.
Yeah.
But...
And he's like, okay, well, I'm leaving. I'm taking my team with me.
Also, just fucking Mystique just standing there just it's just like, go to him or something. Why are you just standing there? Like that's like your brother.
And then Charles is like, you can go with Eric. She's like, I thought you said you want to read my mind. He's like, yeah, but I know. And that's a good moment where he's like, hey, I don't agree, but I'm going to let you make your own decisions.
Yeah, let you be happy.
And what she should say is like, I will eventually team up with Eric, but I want to make sure you're okay because you're dying on a beach in Cuba.
He's not dying.
Well, kind of. And then Moira's like, we'll get you. She's like, we'll take you to a doctor. I'm like, where? I don't think America or Russia can pass that line to pick you up. Cuba's not going to take you in. How do they get home?
Swim.
Because the teleporter was with the bad guys. He left with the bad guys.
I don't know.
Somehow they get home.
Somehow
they get home.
Returned.
But yeah, and I like how they wait a little bit, and then he's like, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs. I'm Professor X. I can't feel my legs. I'm Professor X. From the X-Men movies, he says that. That was weird. Yeah. Based on the comics. Patrick Stewart played me. I was like, that's really on the nose. And then Charles erases Moira's mind with a kiss. And yes, this is produced by Richard Donner's wife, who also Richard Donner did Superman 2.
Don't forget, he also makes the joke about, oh, what's next? I lose my hair. And it's just like,
He's like, I'll be going bald, but they already made a hair joke. So the first hair joke was fine.
This one was, all right, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
I'm still mad in Apocalypse. We need an origin for how he lost his hair. I'm like, maybe he just lost his hair. I don't
genetics. Like,
look at Patrick Stewart in Dune in 1984. He didn't have a lot of hair, and he continued to lose hair. But yeah, he erases her mind, so she won't tell anyone where they are.
Yep.
Which seems kind of mean to her. It kind of hurts her professionally.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this is why ladies can't be in the CIA.
Yeah, because she was like, blah, blah, blah. A kiss, and everybody was like, ugh.
Yeah, Charles, you're setting ladies back, okay? What an asshole. So yeah. By the way, she was like, I will never tell him. He's like, I know you won't, because I'm going to erase your mind. I'm like, well, that's kind of unethical. You didn't trust her a little bit? Anyway.
Well, that wasn't his real girlfriend. His boyfriend left, so.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to kiss you. I'm totally straight. You see this, guys? I kissed her. Yeah.
No one's around. It's like, who is she talking to?
Eric. I kissed her.
And then we'll see Professor X. See, I know they're a little gay in the movies, but Professor X in the comics, in the cartoon, he's getting on with everyone. I'm rewatching the cartoon. I'm like, he's got like 5 ex-lovers. One of them is an alien lady. He got around. For a guy who's not very mobile, he got around.
He's got the Riz.
For a bald paraplegic, he knows what to do.
You can get it.
He gets inside those girls' heads, literally, probably. So, the meeting where they're yelling at Moira for having lady brains gets interrupted by a big explosion. And they're like, what's that sound? And it turns out Emma Frost is being freed by Magneto.
Like, yeah, we haven't gotten along, but
he's like,
I think you'll like to join us.
He's like, I need a psychic on my team of Mystique, Angel, the other Angel, not that Angel. Also, I think Gina Carano's name was Angel in Deadpool. Also,
was it?
I think so. Huh. And Azazel. Spoiler: these two are gonna bone and have Nightcrawler. Except a new comic is going to retcon that. But in the movie universe, that's going to happen. So join my team and we'll go on so many adventures and definitely most of you won't get killed between films. And she's like, I'm in. Let's do it. And then we see the comic accurate Magneto. It is. He's got he added the little devil horns, the red and purple. And then he doesn't wear that in the next one.
Yeah. I prefer Magneto.
To be fair, he has like a reddish suit in the next one, but it doesn't look like this. Yeah. Yeah, and then it ends.
Yep.
And it was fine. What did
fine
you think?
And fun.
What did you think revisiting this?
No, I liked it. Again, I watched this even before you asked me to come talk about it.
Oh.
So it was just like a random, I'm in a mood to watch some type of movie. And I'm like, you know what? X-Men First Class. Can't go wrong. Like, it's fun.
I'm trying to
don't really have to like pay attention. Like, it's funny.
I'm trying to think. Not counting Deadpool, Wolverine, New Mutants, not counting the spinoffs. Like mainline X-Men movies, it's probably my 4th favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously X2, obviously.
Well, duh.
X-Men 1, I still really like. Days of Future Past is really great.
Yeah, no, I think same.
I mean, Days of Future Past is a little messy trying to.
This is messy too.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's kind of messy trying to marry this new continuity with the previous trilogy continuity.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's like the 4th best one, maybe. And then, it's fine. It gave us James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. We got a few good movies out of them. Put Jennifer Lawrence on the map. I mean, Winter's Bone did, but more.
Put her in a more mainstream thing where more eyes were on her.
It took him forever to bring Nightcrawler back, and when he was lame, so seeing his evil dad was kind of fun to fill in that gap. It was a good time, and then I think they're going to reboot X-Men again soon to fit into the MCU. I'm assuming Deadpool will set that up.
Most likely.
Yes. I don't know how they're going to do it. I know they've slowly started introducing mutants into the MCU.
Whatever happened to that one show? Wasn't it
Inhumans?
Yeah.
Well, it got canceled because it was terrible. However, the guy who played Black Bolt in that ended up in Doctor Strange 2 as Black Bolt, but a comic-accurate Black Bolt. Did you see Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Same actor, so it was multiverse.
Yeah. What mouth?
So they've sprinkled X-Men, so they had the Professor X looking comic-accurate in that film, and then they killed him. I know apparently the Miss Marvel show introduces a mutant. But I can't confirm because why the fuck would I watch Miss Marvel?
I watched up until the last episode and I just never got around to watching it again. I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so
I didn't even start it. And I know
it's not bad.
I know the Marvels. Miss Marvel ends up.
I haven't seen that yet either.
But you've seen the spoiler, right? She ends up in an alternate universe, and Kelsey Grammer is Beast again, but he's CGI now. But it looks like the movie X-Men, so they're not really sure how they're doing X-Men. I think Deadpool is going to be the one to maybe rewrite time to make it like they've already been there. But no, so the MCU didn't have Inhumans. They didn't have mutants because Fox had it. This is before Disney got it. So they were really pushing Inhumans to the point where the Marvel comics were starting to kill off X-Men characters and make the Inhumans. So Inhumans are kind of the same thing, although they were made by the Kree, the aliens, like experimented.
So the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show set up why there were so many Inhumans. So there were Inhumans on Earth. The Inhuman show were about the ones who live on the moon, coming to Earth, and that was like a whole thing. I never even watched it. I heard it was garbage. They screwed up by making the premiere like an IMAX special like months before it aired, and everyone who went and saw it were like, this was garbage. So for like a month or so, everyone's like, don't watch the show, it sucks, and then no one watched the show. So now that Fox got bought out by Disney, they're now being like, oh yeah, Inhumans, they're still around, throw them out of the way, mutants are here. And Deadpool's gonna make it seem like they've always been here. So we'll see what the future holds for this. But I mean, this was a fun prequel reboot sort of thing.
I like it.
It started the decade series where each film was a new decade. Didn't really make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't make sense by the time of Dark Phoenix. They're like, wow, they haven't aged much, have they? But yeah, that's X-Men First Class. An exciting... What did we say? It was an exciting reboot.
Reboot, yeah. Exciting reboot.
Johanna.
Yeah.
What do you have going on?
I'm really busy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to stream, but life stuff is like in the way. But yeah, sometimes you can catch me, and by sometimes I mean like every other month on Twitch and stuff like games. But I tweet a lot, so I'm stuff like hearts on Twitter or X.
Yeah.
X for X-Men. Yeah, there's a link tree. There's other things that I'm in.
Yes.
Go look at my link tree.
And just because it's not on YouTube, Castzilla versus the Pod Monsters, the website still exists. The audio catalog still exists. I will get if I can't get the channel back, I will get the video platform up somewhere. So go back and check that out. We'll probably, once the video platform is up to date, we'll probably continue that show. We had to do Rebirth of Mothra 3. Yeah. We'll call that episode Rebirth of Castzilla.
Jesus.
Really worked out. Yeah, and follow me on all my socials. Book me on Cameo. You should start a Cameo. Use my referral code. I gave my referral code to Crystal and Adam, and they haven't done any cameos. It's really fun. I really like it. Book me on Cameo. Become a patron on Patreon. We have a lot of exciting things going on Patreon over there. And yeah, Twitch. I've been lately when I do streams, I stream to our second channel, the Clips and Streams channel, and also Twitch and also Facebook. So follow all those. I stream everywhere now. I'm firing off on all cylinders. Yeah, and that is it from us. Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.